that. If we know we have gone too far distally, or we're at the edge when we hit the part that moves, because the brevis doesn't cause this action to happen, okay? It's between longus and the next one down, which is communis, okay? So we know if we're moving, we're not on brevis, right? So, play your piano. So I'm in between. Oh. Can't do that. Take my light out. Oh. And these take a while to get an idea as to what they're gonna look like, feel like, and it takes a lot of sitting here on yourself trying to do, okay, let's extend, radially deviate, okay. I can make, what do I make pop up when I do that? Lateralis is that nice little look that you see on people's forearm. You can see me bump on mine, maybe. That's the lateralis. So, to make sure I'm there, just give me a pump it, put your, there you go. You don't have one. Do you lift a finger? Wrong one. Okay.
That wasn't the one you wanted to lift.
That was, yeah, I know. I could see it happening. But you're on camera, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where we know, for the most part, lateralis. Then, brevis is just in between there. It's right off of, it's much easier to show you on one that's already drawn as I'm just showing, and then I'll draw it on her. Right off of, boy, we can't see that either. Man. Yeah. All right. As I make lateralis pop up, and I outline that, you can see how it comes across. And then brevis has a very, very small tendinous junction as it goes down into the medial epicondyle. And so it's going to be just a very small little muscle belly in between this what should jump up and the little piano player down below it. So we'll try again now that I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. That's going to be and then we come down now, the piano players below it, okay, where they end laterally, you outline that. And that's communist. Right. Communist. Keep playing.
Not communist.
Communist.
That's what I could be.
Yeah, not communist, communist. And sorry guys, I put too much black on there. Think of that part as the brevis as it comes down. It's going to be more the solid. I shouldn't use black on that. But then the communist comes down. Your insertion or your origin is going to be distal to the epicondyle. So you can, thank you very much. Wow. Oh, it was just blinding. You can see on your little guy here how it almost runs a straight line down of how you can divide these out. But now also notice, I noticed a lot of you had problems with your model putting them in different positions. And the bottom picture here shows actually with flexion what it's going to look like versus just lying there relaxed. It does look different, but you need them to be in the correct position to start with. Make your model sit up, put them in the right position, and that'll help you get there a little bit quicker. Ulnaris. Just below, we keep going here. We've got 2 more places to go. We've got Anconius and Ulnaris. What's going to tell me the difference between the two of those? Their action, right? Anconius does what? Extends elbow, and the other one extends wrist. So I should have movement under my finger when I'm doing Ulnaris, but when I'm down on Anconius, I shouldn't have movement with this. I want to extend your push against me. I want Anconius and by default we can get him down there, and everything in between is Ulnaris, because I can feel that muscle pop up. I've got her pressing and extending, and so Anconius is an easy one to find, and it makes whatever's in between communus and that by default Ulnaris. Okay? So however you have to get to it, start with something you know to get to something that you don't know. This one's going to take some time to really get to where you can feel it, but again, light palpation, light palpation. Let's do that, and then we'll do, because the last one is the anterior, but you have to have the other ones done first. So mark these, work really hard on your brachioradialis, because it's going to come into play on our next set when we go anterior and look at the cubital fossa. So really work on trying to find the edges of it, making good marks. Make sure your ridge is good, and then work on trying to get them to activate different muscles by the position they're in and by what you ask them to do to make. And so if you took it down, go ahead and put them in position. 90 degrees, bud. Thank you. Right. 90 degrees. Make your partner help you out. So we've bordered that. Okay, I want you to press up again. I know my border is good. And so I have I've come across, I've got pronator teres. Really our borders are where those two come across, and our cubital fossa is going to be, come up again, this nice little triangle area. You should have pronator teres coming across, and then our cubital fossa is this nice little triangle in between. Okay? So really, you've already got most of that already drawn out, or at least the starts of it. Now go back and get them to pronate again to resist pronation. So roll into my hand. So I want to double check that I'm still correct there, because a lot of, and then I want to double check that I'm here. Pull up. And so I know that my cubital fossa is this triangular shape, right, that's bordered by those two things. So we've already got that outlined. Easy enough?
When you resist the pronation, do you want her to start in neutral or start back? Or
Doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to get it to fire.
Okay.
I mean, right there's fine, as long as I know that she's firing, and it's not that I can see it; it's that I can feel it.
Okay.
So now let's go to our biceps breakout tendon, radial tuberosity. Everybody's bicep really isn't as big as they think it is if you're looking at it from a sagittal view, but we're going to find the tendon. So this is one that I want to go ahead. I want to have her flex, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll her out into external or into supination. That way I don't get the brachioradialis to pop up. I want to get biceps brachii to pop up, okay? And so pull up. So I'm going to course it down out of the belly. We've all got a pretty good idea of where the belly is. And we've got this common tendon coming down as it comes together. I want to follow that down as it enters into the cubital fossa and attaches onto the radial tuberosity. So relax.